Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name's Jacob Restituto. I hope you guys are enjoying all the BTS content. I definitely am. And now we're doing my favorite kind of videos. So my favorite types of videos are these making of videos. As a producer, as a musician myself who makes all of my own music, who has about 90 songs out there. So if you want to check out my music, it'd be pretty lit. But as somebody that makes my own music, it's really, really cool to see the making of. So today we're going to be reacting to and breaking down and talking about the making of Euphoria with DJ Swivel. So I was actually reached out to DJ Swivel, and we spoke with his management about coming on the channel potentially for an interview. His management responded saying that he's super busy at the moment, probably because BTS is releasing new music. Maybe, I don't know if he's working with them or what on his new stuff, but I mean, I know that BTS is releasing the new song Butter coming out soon, so maybe he has something to do with that. But regardless, the only reason that it is possible for me to even reach out to these people and them actually respond is the fact that you guys keep supporting the channel and keep subscribing and liking and watching these videos. So without you, it wouldn't be possible. So I want to say genuinely thank you, and if you would like to support this channel, it'd be really helpful by subscribing, by liking the videos, by watching the videos, and I'm really grateful for you. So let's see what we got. This is BTS, the making of Euphoria.
A lot of times when I'm working on tracks, I associate colors with sounds. Sometimes I'll listen to a song and I'll just see a lot of like shades of orange or shades of blue maybe. And when I listen to Euphoria, I just see like shades of the rainbow. Jungkook, who's one of the 7 members of BTS. You know, I sent it to them, and then, I mean, he's such an incredible singer.
I don't know why Genius just like decides to, like, they have such good quality cameras. I find it so funny that they like distort the videos to make it look like it's vintage, but it doesn't make any sense to me.
I heard this amazing vocal back, and they added some really cool vocal harmonies in the hook, which I thought just added so much more to the drop.
Synth right
to me, creatively, they're...
All right, let's just dissect his studio for a sec, because you got a sick setup going on at the moment. So you obviously have the guitars over here. This is some sort of synthesizer, some knobs. This is probably controlling the scenes over here, so you can see like the different scenes. That's some sort of monitor. All these different speakers, which is crazy. These are probably compressors. A whole bunch of stuff.
They're
man.
pushing
so cool.
the boundaries so far. There's a lot of fearlessness in the art that they make and how they create it. When I started Euphoria, initially it was an idea from a writer who I was working with, Candace Sosa. She plays guitar, and I was inspired by the sound that was in this initial little demo.
Oh, he's
and I
also
said,
done Magic
all right,
Shop, and
let
I'm
me,
fine. That's pretty cool.
Let me take that and work with it. And it sort of all just came together really fluidly and naturally.
Oh, he's won Grammys for working with Beyonce and the Chainsmokers, man. What a guy. That's so crazy. So what you're hearing right now, that right there that you're hearing, that was the what's called the metronome, and it keeps time, helps you stay on beat with the song.
Together really fluidly and naturally.
That walk down is so good, man.
You know, musically, when the song starts with that guitar, it's like, oh man, this just feels so good. Just like kind of warms you here. And then
you can hear in the left ear, the guitar is mainly in the left ear. In the right ear, you can hear like there's a bit of echo going on, kind of giving that fullness to that mono instrument, because guitars are mono instruments. Mono meaning it's straight, like it's just one single part as opposed to stereo where you could pan left and right.
Then it's layered with a second guitar. One is panned to the left, one is panned a little to the right. By itself, it's a very simple part, and then together you just get some nice harmonics off the two, and it feels great. So once I have...
He does a great job of explaining his music right here. This is really cool, actually. He's recording in Pro Tools, which is the industry standard of making music, recording music. Logic is probably close to there. I would say that what is coming even high, like even more popular with the increase of rap music is what is it called? Fruity Loops. FL Studio is getting very popular with hip hop beats becoming very popular.
Have that, the piano comes in, and the piano is really driving the song just melodically from the chords and just where the song is moving.
Oh, look at that MIDI.
There's just Alicia Keys' piano, and then a Greg Wells just piano plug-in. It adds a little delay, a little bit of a chorus.
Plugin is Greg Wells piano centric. I love when artists like, oh, this is a Waves plugin. Oh, very cool.
Brightens the piano up a little bit. So those two guitar sounds in the piano basically start off the song. That's the intro of the song, and then also the first 4 bars of the first verse. The chords are just so pretty, and they lend themselves to really nice vocal melodies on top of it. So that was a really good foundation for where the rest of the song went. So from there, the next thing that I add is a drum loop, which just helps add a little bit of rhythm so that the vocals have a place to sit. It's a melodic tom loop, and I use 4 different sounds for it.
Ooh.
As you can tell, they move.
Oh, you hear it's kind of moving with the rhythm and maybe even the pitch of the song.
As you can tell, they move with the chords.
That's interesting.
I just added a simple kick drum. After that, we added a splash snare that just sort of creates a lot of space.
Wow, that is a serious kick drum, man. Do you feel a fatness of the kick?
So after the drums were added, we have the guitar and the piano. Just in that second half of the verse, I added 2 pad sounds.
Oh, yeah.
It just allows the song to grow a little bit, and it sort of anticipates what's going to happen next. And so once those pads were added, that was basically the entire...
So what pads are? Pads are like these very ethereal, long release style notes that are out there. Like as opposed to like a piano, which could be very played staccato, pads are very long-tailed kind of chords. Instruments like synth pads.
Section. So after the verse, the B section comes in, and this is really where the...
Okay, A, B, C, all those different sections that he's talking about, like, are referring to the sections of a song. For example, A might be the intro, B might be the verse, C might be the chorus, B might be back to a verse, C might be back to a chorus, C like that, something like that.
Song is growing to at this point. You know, the song is called Euphoria. I wanted
so cool,
a B section that would be just really open and bright. And so we've done a ton of stuff in here to sort of achieve that. The main instrument there are these synth string sounds.
Ooh.
I just took the initial piano...
Really plucking kind of on those very fake sounding, like synthetic sounding strings.
I just took the initial piano chords from the intro, but it's played with more rhythm. And I was messing around with Serum. I found this cool sound in there that
super
I
popular
modified a little bit.
So
after I had added the strings, the next thing I wanted to add was a synth pad. And I found this really cool preset in Silent, which I then modified a bit, called Pong. Then the way that I processed it is I added a filter that would open up as the...
Super popular filter. So these are called One Knob made by Waves. It's a super popular filter because plugin or style plugin, because one knobs they have a whole bunch. They have one knob distortion, one knob pulse pumper, I think, one knob filter, one knob EQ. There's like one knob tremolo. There's so many, and the reason people like them are because they're one knob. So often you can get stuck in the options that you have, you know, where should I have the filter sweep from? Should I take it up from 28 dB? Should I take it up from 97 hertz or 23, like 5,000 hertz, or all these different things? And it's like, when there's one knob, it's simplicity. You just do one simple sweep like that. Look at how he automated it. You can see the automation right here. Do you see right there on that screen right there? You can see the automation opening, so it's going from low to high, and you can actually watch it right here. Watch the knob move. That's called automation.
Then the way that I processed it is I added a filter that would open up as the section moved along, making our way towards the chorus.
And then we have sidechain giving that pulsing sound.
So once I had those basic chord layers down and the energy going the way that I wanted, Candace added a guitar in this section, which sort of acts as the lead melody.
Ooh.
I think it just adds a nice counter melody to the initial chords that are in there. Anchoring this entire section, there's a sub bass.
I want him to talk about this stuff, the Furman stuff over here, all these external rack gears.
It's just a sine wave bass. It's about as simple a sound as you can get. In all of the tracks that I produce, I try to make sure that, you know, every 15 seconds there's something new that happens, something that just keeps your brain thinking and you know, on its toes. These little vocal chops are really just meant to complement the lead vocal. 저기 멀리서 바다가 들려 꿈을 건너서 숲을 넘어라 So after a few
I like those calm responses you
other
got. That's
smaller
cool.
sounds are added, this is what that entire B section sounds like.
That vocal up there makes a big difference. Oh, they didn't put it there.
So then coming out of that B section leading into the chorus, there's just a couple ear candy sounds that were added just to be a nice little moment before the chorus drop.
What do you like of that like gun cock and that like the ping pong thing that goes on that like
Before
right here?
The chorus drop.
What do you think of this? Do you like that?
Sometimes music is like a collage, and you just take these cool sounds and you try to see how they can play off one another and how they fit in, and a lot of it's just experimenting and messing around with it. So now once we get to the chorus, this is sort of the release for the whole song. Everything opens up, so it gets nice and bright, the energy changes. This whole section was built around a main stab chord sound.
Hear that swing up in those notes right there? Like the it's kind of slides up. That's called it's called a portamento. This is how it's sliding up to the.
I just found this really interesting synth, and
like the wheel. That sound is called
got a slow
portamento.
attack on it. I've layered it with a filtered version just to get a little more low end out of the EQ. So once I had that main chord sound, I layered it with two other sounds just to add a little bit more attack to it and just raise the energy just a bit.
Oh, huge
they're
pulsing.
Playing the exact same thing.
Sidechain.
It's just some sonic layers. And then finally, the last thing that was layered was these same strings from the B section. So once I had all of those main chords, the next thing I added was a bass pluck sound. And I've actually filtered out a lot of the low-end frequencies from it. And I think it just added some interesting rhythms in between what was happening.
So notice that. So you hear that the high for the really hard attack, the high frequency attack that's going on. Benefit of that is like listening through smaller speakers. You have the ability to hear that attack of the bass a way more than you would hear to the sub-sine bass that he was talking about earlier.
The chords. There's already a lot going on in the hook synth-wise, but there is a bass there that sort of just follows the same chords that all those synths are doing.
Like that.
It's just there to anchor all of those sounds. So then finally in the chorus, we get to the drums.
Wild.
As you can see, there is a lot of drums. But if I play them all together, I don't think it really sounds like it's a lot. A lot of these little percussion things just happen one time, or they hit at little moments just to get a nice bounce happening. So I'll start adding them one by one so you can see what happened there.
Oh, you hit a pitch drum in there? Oh, giving that 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 kind of vibe to it. A lot of pitch drums. Hear that drum? Bum 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 like that. Not there's a lot of extra rhythmic elements, not a ton of like steady straight drums going on, like real kick and snare kind of thing.
A lot of that is just auditioning sounds and looking for cool, interesting new sounds that I maybe haven't heard before or haven't used before. And eventually, as you spend enough time on it, all these sort of sounds start to fit in as like a puzzle, and they start to fit in together and find
a lot of messing around.
Once you add the main kick and snare, the hook drums sound like this.
Oh, that kick is so nice. Kick is so hard, man.
The last final sound, which is really the driving melodic layer of the chorus, is this vocal chop. Really, it started as layers of our initial demo vocal. I chopped it up in a way where melodically, I just liked what it did melodically. I didn't care if the words made sense or anything, because then I processed it quite heavily so that none of the words are discernible anymore.
I love vocal chops.
So that's just
So vocal chops, when you take a vocal riff and you literally chop it up and you affect it, and it becomes almost like a synthesizer instead of an actual vocal. It's so
actually
cool.
Candace's vocal, and at the end a bit of Jungkook's vocal. Once the vocal was processed in a way
Here
where
we
it
go.
was
Let's see what
nice
talks
and
about.
compressed and
This is he's about to talk about a plugin called Little Altar Boy. Very cool plugin.
and EQ'd the way that I wanted. I added Little Altar Boy, and this sort of pitches the vocal up. I added a bunch of reverb.
Great for pitching vocals up or down. A really cool effect.
And
I love that
added a
effect.
sidechain to it, and then there was some other.
Sidechain pulses the sound. So if you're interested, if you're actually really interested in this productions talk, I have a series on my channel. On this channel, you can just type it in Jacob Restituto, and I explain a lot of these terms: EQ, sidechain, pulsing, panning, stuff, all this stuff, tremolo.
Other little frequencies that were jumping out that I didn't like. So there's a de-esser on it, and finally some delay.
De-esser is super important because that takes out the when you say something, Sally smart. That is a super high frequency, and when you mix things, sometimes it destroys your ear because it's such a harsh, high EQ. Pitched up, you hear it? That's cool.
When I
That's
first
cool.
sent BTS and their label my original demo of the song, it already had this vocal chop in it. And then once I got vocals back from Jungkook, I implemented some of his vocal layers into it just so that it would blend with the vocals that were happening in the chorus, and it would
That's cool.
it would just end up being a doubled layer of what he was already doing in the chorus. And so here's how the whole chorus sounds. So that's basically all of the main elements of the record, and there are some other layers in there. As you can tell, like it's a fairly complex production. There's a lot of different pieces of ear candy and layers that come and go, but I try to cover the most important parts, and that's Euphoria.
It's crazy, man. They did such a good job, and I didn't know that DJ Swivel would work with Beyonce. Had worked with the Chainsmokers. Chainsmokers are one of my favorite bands, man. I loved it. That was really cool. I hope you guys enjoyed that. It's very, very different. You get a little more insight, a little stuff that he didn't necessarily go into. I hope I was able to clarify a little bit more. Hope you guys are enjoying this. If you have not seen the one, I already did this for Dynamite. So if you have not seen it, if you want to check it out, that'd be cool. If you want to check out my music, it's Jacob Restituto wherever you listen. Hope you subscribe and support the channel so we can get more people on the channel for interviews. See you in the next video. God bless and peace out. People say find contentment. They say I should get a job, 'cause they don't think this is working. And they say, Jake, it's been years, you haven't gotten very far. Am I living with vision? Or is this something I regret? They don't doubt I have passion, but they ask, what makes me different from the rest? I know my dreams don't fit your plans. Why can't my dreams just be my plan? I want someone to believe in me. I'm not crazy, I just want you to see that life's short and people aren't living at all. People